Hey friends, welcome to another flow. Today is going to be the last video of the hips challenge that I have been posting on, and today we'll be working towards grasshopper pose. So grasshopper pose is a more advanced posture. It's an arm balance, but you can do this entire flow just without doing that pose. That's totally fine. This flow, if you've been to my studio classes in person, this is something that I taught back in June, and I've had many requests to record it. So here we are recording this one for the hips challenge. Today I want to encourage you guys to really think about what it means to be kind to yourself. This flow may have some options in there that may not feel good in your body, and that's totally fine. There are plenty of postures that don't feel good in mine either. So feel free to take from this practice whatever it is that you need. You can do something totally different, make the posture work a little bit better for you. I have props here, some blocks, a blanket, and I'm seated up on a pillow. So option to get those things if you have them, and then we'll meet back seated on the mat. Once you've gathered all of your things, take a moment getting rooted in your sit bones as you start to lift your shoulders up, back, and down. Allowing some slow breaths to come in and out. Maybe taking your hands onto your knees, or maybe even tapping your thumb and index finger together, allowing the rest of your fingers to splay out. Taking a moment to feel rooted down into the earth. Connecting with our body, noticing how it's feeling. And starting to take some bigger breaths. Think about inhaling from the bottom of your belly all the way up to the top of your chest. And as you exhale, spill out from your chest all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Continuing in this way, breathing at your own pace. Exhaling any tension, any stress. We'll take one more breath here. And a big exhale. Good, blinking the eyes open, inhaling, sweeping the arms up overhead. Keep your ankles as they are, and we'll fold forward over our legs, reaching the fingertips forward. Maybe you take your fingers back behind you and leverage yourself forward. Whatever works for you. Finding a little bit of squeeze in of your low belly to help you fold here. Breathing into the back body. And on your next exhale, walking the hands back up towards you, but not all the way back up. So hands may be planted down onto the floor, maybe onto your ankles if that's all you can reach. But from here, we'll start to sweep one arm up overhead as we look up towards the sky, pressing your opposite hand down into the floor. Exhale, lower it down. Same thing on the other side. Inhale as you open. And exhale, lower down. Two more each way. Inhale. Squeeze the belly in. Exhale. Inhale as you lift. And exhale, lower down. Good. Last ones. Inhale to lift. Maybe get a little bit further. And exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Slowly walking your way back up. Go ahead and bring your feet out in front of you so that your heels are down on the ground. You can stay on the pillow or come off of it if you want. I'm going to stay on it, and just gently starting to move the knees side to side. Just being gentle at first, noticing where we are today. So I know each day my hips feel just slightly different, sometimes tighter, looser. So just feeling that out for now. And then making your way back up through center. Sit up nice and tall. See if you can start to move your knees all the way to one side. This back leg here, you're kind of at a 90-90 angle. Take your fingertips and kind of prop yourself up, lift through your chest. Then think about this back foot pressing into a wall behind you so that glute is engaging to help you twist just a little bit more. Breathing in here. And on your exhale, twist a little bit further. See if you can lay all the way down over that leg that was in the front. Finding a little bit of a twist in a deer pose here. Gently pressing the edges of your feet into the floor. Last inhale. On your exhale, gently walk your way back up. Other side, shifting over, knees bend the other way. Same thing here, sitting up tall, you can use your fingertips down on the floor. Press that back foot gently into that imaginary wall to help you twist a little bit more. And breathing here. Pressing that foot back. On the next exhale, can you twist a little bit more towards the back and maybe lay yourself down towards your forearms. Being kind to yourself, finding your edge and just staying there, not going past it. Breathing. And one more inhale here. On your exhale, make your way back through center. Take a moment, shimmy your legs side to side if you need to. And we're making our way into tabletop for some cat and cow. So you probably know the cat and the cow, so you can just go ahead and start to move yourself through those. But if you don't, you can go with me, thinking about fingers spread nice and wide, inner elbows facing forward, and we'll start to extend the spine, shoulder blades squeeze together. And exhale, round the spine, shoulder blades pull apart. Extending the spine as we inhale into cow. And exhale, round into cat. Taking any other movements into this that you need to. Just take a moment here, kind of move intuitively. Whatever feels right in your body. And then we'll gently make our way back to a tabletop position. Go ahead and lift into a downward facing dog, hips lifting high towards the sky. Pedaling out the dog, a few breaths here. First one of the day. Maybe, I don't know. And coming back to stillness, we'll lift the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Then bend the knee, open up through that hip. Stay here. Squeeze the heel in towards the glute. You can bend through the left knee as much as you need to. And then slowly take your right foot, step it outside the right hand, come up onto your fingertips. Keep your right knee bent. Now you're in a lizard, kind of dropping your hips down towards the floor. And then you'll lift back up, three-legged dog. Right foot comes down next to the left. Same thing on the left. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hips. Stay here for a couple breaths. Bend your right knee as much as needed. Slowly but surely stepping the left foot outside of the left hand, coming onto fingertips, little lizard lunge, dropping the hips towards the floor as much as they want to go. Then hands plant back, lifting three-legged dog, and step the foot down. Good job. Take a moment here, pedal out through your legs. One more time. Inhale, lift the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Good. On your inhale, shift forward, step the foot outside the hand, dropping the hips a little bit. Inhale, lift back up through the right leg. And exhale, step it back down. Inhale, lift the left leg high, bend the knee, open up the hip. Step the foot outside the hand, and exhale, drop the hips towards the floor. Inhale, lift it back up, and exhale, step it down. Taking a moment here, finding some stillness. And then we'll make our way into a gentle child's pose. Bring your knees wide, open your hips, big toes towards each other, and then bring your hips back towards your heels. Option to take your elbows towards the floor and come into a reverse Namaste. If your elbows are on the floor, go ahead and extend your arms. Walking our hands back into a tabletop, ragdoll at the back of the mat, walking the hands back as the heels want to reach back towards the floor. Bend the knees a lot, kind of sway side to side, shake out your head, yes and no, ending with a yes. And from here, we'll roll all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Mountain pose, reaching the fingertips down towards the mat. On the inhale, arms lift overhead. On the exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, halfway lift your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, adding on from here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Now from here, see if you can start to bring your right heel up off the mat. Now, moving weight into your left leg, maybe your fingertips are on the floor. We're reaching the right leg straight back behind us. Maybe you can lift into a warrior three, lifting your chest up towards the sky, breathing in. On your exhale, hands come to the floor as we walk ourselves forward towards a three-legged plank, and then step that right foot in between your hands, rising into a high crescent lunge here. Once you find your crescent lunge, maybe having to shift your feet so your feet are about hip distance apart. Big breath in. On your exhale, taking a prayer twist, hands come to prayer. Maybe this is where you stay lifted up. Maybe your left elbow can come outside of your right thigh as you press your palms into each other. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Staring down at your right foot. Can you slowly step your left foot next to your right foot, coming into a chair twist? Breathing in, maybe opening your arms like an eagle or an airplane. Big breath in here. And on your exhale, bringing the hands back together, we're going to rise up, but see if you can keep your elbow, if you have the elbow and knee connected, see if you can keep them connected as we rise all the way up into a standing position, twisting open. Maybe opening your arms all the way up to the side. Big breath in here. Big transition to warrior two. Step the right foot all the way back towards the back of the mat. Reaching the fingertips long. Nice bend through the left knee. On the inhale, straighten your left leg as you reach your left arm up and back. Reverse the warrior. And exhale back to warrior two. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Coming into extended side angle. Elbow comes to your thigh. Maybe you reach that arm forward. Maybe your right arm goes over your ear. Again, if you want a little more flexibility, you can bring your fingertips down inside of that leg if you'd like. Big breath in here. On your exhale, right fingertips come down. Shift your way to a runner's lunge, gazing forward, opening towards the left side. Breathing in. Exhale, left hand down, step back to plank, option for a vinyasa. If you don't know what that is, you can go with me, lowering your knees to your belly. And inhale, lifting into cobra, squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. Good, shifting all the way back into a tabletop, then lifting into downward facing dog. Take a moment here, reground yourself. So we'll take that same thing on the other side, then we'll move on into a new flow. Walking the hands back towards the back of the mat, ragdoll, bend the knees a lot. Shake your head yes and no. Rolling up to stand, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, articulating each one. Inhale, arms lift overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to. From here, halfway lift. And remember, we're gonna reach the left foot back this time. So deciding, do we want fingertips on the floor? Do we need to bend our right knee? Kind of setting it up so that it works for you guys. All of our bodies are different. So maybe if you feel like you have the strength through the right leg, really pressing through that foot, maybe you can lift your chest up, coming into like a capital T shape. We'll all meet with the hands planted down on the ground, coming all the way forward. Bring the left foot forward. Can you step it where your left hand should be? And then rise up into a high crescent lunge. Taking the prayer twist, hands come to prayer, twisting over to the left. Maybe you stay here, this is fine. Maybe take the elbow outside of the knee and open the chest towards the left side. Looking down at the left foot, gently, intentionally, stepping the right foot forward, coming into the prayer chair twist, and we'll open up through the arms if that feels right in your body. Now, wherever we are in our prayer twist, whether the elbow and thigh is connected or not, see if you can put weight into your right foot, come onto your left toes. From there, can you start to rise up into a standing twist, maybe opening the arms once you get here. Big breath in here. On your exhale, warrior two, stepping the left foot all the way back, bending through the right knee. On the inhale, reverse the warrior, straighten through the right leg. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. From here, extended side angle, elbow to thigh, keeping the chest open towards the windows. You can always take your hand to the back of your head if it feels pinchy in your shoulders. Maybe reach the fingertips towards the floor or a block if you have that block. Good, gently bringing the left hand down, opening towards the right side just for a breath. And exhale, take both hands down, step it back to plank, option for vinyasa if you want it, maybe chaturanga to up dog this time. And we'll meet back in a downward facing dog. Breathing. And we'll meet down in a child's pose position, bringing the knees down, taking a moment for pause here. Shifting forward, back into a tabletop, taking a few rounds of cat and cow, maybe grabbing a sip of water if you need it, and then we'll meet back in a downward dog to start our flow. Once you get to your dog, regrounding yourself, finding that intention again, that kindness towards yourself, remembering that every suggestion that I give is completely optional. Make it work for you. From here, we'll look forward towards the top of the mat, and on your exhale, walk, step, or jump to a forward fold. From there, we'll halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up high. Now, grounding into the left foot, can you bring your right knee up towards your chest? It doesn't have to come all the way up. Now, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, maybe this is where you stay, pressing that knee wide. Maybe you can sit back into a baby mini chair. Breathing here, finding our balance. Now we're twisting open towards the left side. So I know that sounds weird, but you're gonna take an open arm twist here. And then if you feel like you have the space, you'll take your right elbow to the crook or the arch of your foot, and then kind of take those prayer hands, twisting open a little bit more. Maybe you open your arms here. Beautiful. Gently coming back to center in that figure four chair. Find your balance for a second, maybe wobbling like I just did. And then we'll take our fingertips to our big toe on the right foot. Bring that knee up towards your chest. You can stay here with the knee bent, or maybe start to straighten it. Notice mine's not going all the way straight, that's fine. And maybe bring that leg wide as your left arm goes wide. Breathing here. Coming to warrior three, release that foot, bring that leg all the way back, nice and controlled, inner thighs hugged together. Now remember, we do have blocks here. You can take your blocks maybe underneath your hands if you need some support. Now bending into both knees. We're coming into a little crescent lunge. So on the inhale, you'll rise up, bringing our arms all the way up overhead. On your exhale, open arm twist to the left. Good, bringing the right hand to the back of the left hand to the back of the right thigh, sorry. you can reach your right arm up and back. Breathing here. Good. Cartwheeling the hands down. Go ahead and sweep your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Good. Breathing in here, bend your knee, open your hip on your exhale. Good. Now we're shifting forward towards a side plank with that bent knee. Once you reach that side plank, then maybe you can flip over, take the toes towards the floor beside you, lifting the hips, reaching the left arm towards the front of the room. Breathing in here. And on your exhale, left hand comes down. Bring the left knee down underneath you. Feel the relief there. Lift up through your right leg. Take your left arm forward. Now you're in a bird dog. Big breath in here. And a big breath out. Good. Tucking the left toes under. Walk yourself back into a standing split position at the back of the mat. Bend through the left knee as much as you need to, or you could be a little bit more halfway lifted. Good. Folding forward over your legs. Take an inhale here and an exhale here. On the inhale, halfway lift your spine, look forward, and walk yourself out into a plank position. From here, maybe taking a vinyasa, or maybe you skip it and go straight into a downward facing dog. Totally up to you. Once you find your dog, again, lifting the sits bones high towards the sky. On the inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, walk, step, or jump your feet forward towards the top of the mat. From here, halfway lift your spine, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, use your core as you stand all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. On the inhale, we'll lift high towards the sky. On the exhale, bring your left knee up towards your chest, grounding into the right foot. You might find one leg is more stable. Left leg crosses over. Maybe you sit back into that mini chair. If you can sit back into the mini chair, maybe you twist open, arm twist to the right. Using your core here, moving that left knee away from you. Maybe you can find your elbow into the arch of your left foot, and then kind of take your hands towards prayer, gaze down at the floor as you open your heart. Maybe open your arms up. Good. Coming back to center with the torso, hands to prayer, nice and strong. We'll grab our left big toe with our fingertips and then bring that knee up towards the chest. I know it's a lot on one leg. You've got this. Maybe press the foot forward. Doesn't have to be straight. Remember, you could be about here. And then maybe opening the knee to the side. The right arm would open up towards the side as well. Warrior 3, gently release the left toes. Coming into capital T shape with our body, press the left foot all the way back. Fingertips might hit that block if you want some support. Crescent lunge, stuff the left toes back. On the inhale, rise up. Open arm twist to the right on your exhale. From here, maybe you take your hands into a prayer shape and come into that prayer twist. From here, right hand hits the back of the left thigh, reaching up and back. And cartwheel the hands down. Remember that three-legged dog. Sweep the right leg all the way up and back. You'll bend the knee, open up through your hip. Then you'll shift yourself forward towards a side plank. From there, stepping the toes down towards the floor. Hello, Fitzgerald. And then opening your arm so that your right shoulder blade is kind of moving down your back. Beautiful. From here, bringing the right hand around, we'll bring the right knee down onto the floor. Left leg lifts, maybe the right arm lifts, just an option. Bird dog shape, balancing the spine. We'll take the right hand down, tuck the right toes, walking back into a split shape towards the back of the mat, folding over the front leg. Good. Folding forward, bring the left foot down onto the floor. And on the inhale, halfway lift your spine, walking it out into a plank position. Maybe taking yourself through a vinyasa, or maybe taking that down dog. Take an inhale in your down dog. And on your exhale, knees come down to the floor. Go ahead and scoot your way so that you're laying all the way down on your back. We're taking a couple of preparatory poses. So we've done a lot of heat building. We're going to take it down a notch for a moment. So laying all the way down, take your right leg and see if you can cross that thigh over the left thigh. From there, thinking about your core doing the work, pulling your knees in towards your chest, and then maybe grabbing your knees with your hands, or maybe your shins or ankles, but just finding a nice, soft, gentle stretch here. Allowing your legs to relax, allowing your upper body to relax. Maybe finding you can go a little bit deeper each round. Just releasing some tension through our hips. One more inhale. And on your exhale, gently release. Take your feet wide on your mat. Start to windshield wiper side to side. And we'll do that same thing on the other leg. Take your right foot to the floor. Left thigh crosses over the right thigh, bringing the knees towards the chest, using the core with control, and then finding your relaxation back here onto the floor. So gravity kind of pulling the knees down. Maybe you gently use your hands to help. Breathing into the outer thighs, releasing any tension, finding some elongation through the muscles. Once you feel even and balanced, releasing the stretch, windshield wipering the legs a few times. And then gently roll to the side, press your way up towards the seat. Now, go ahead and take yourself into standing, and we're going to come to the back of the mat. Go ahead and bring your feet wide on the mat. A little active pose before we get into another preparatory opening pose. So we're coming into a yoga squat. Now, yoga squat, I like to start with my arms forward, thinking about my butt reaching back as my knees bend. Maybe this is where I land. Maybe I can go deeper with the knees and the elbows touching. But you want to think about your chest still lifting here. Sometimes I sort of shimmy my way down by lifting one heel then the other. But just finding a nice deep squat, outer thighs, working here to open the knees. Good. And then from here, we're either taking like little duck walks, so just walking forward, or maybe you take your hands to the floor and crow your way to the top of the mat if you have a crow in your practice. So kind of coming from Malasana into a crow. Maybe you just kind of jump your feet forward, but keeping that little squat position as we come forward. Once you get all the way there, slowly you can use your hands coming back into a seated position. Take a second, move your knees side to side. And now I want you to grab some props. So if you have pillows or blocks would be great. Pillows are also great. But what we're doing is we're coming into either a 90-90 position, if that is where your hips are as far as flexibility goes, or maybe a pigeon position. So 90-90, those of you that have tighter hips, maybe it's hard for you to sit on the floor. Maybe just coming into a 90-90 and then folding over that leg. But what I want you to think about here is pressing into the outer edge of that foot. Knee gently folds down towards the floor. Okay, so that's option one. Option 2 is I've got my left foot in front. So what I would do is sort of lift myself up, take that block underneath my thigh, and then press the outer edge of this foot into the floor. I'm aiming to bring my shin parallel towards the top of the mat. So I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see that better. But to come into pigeon, I like to start in a lunge and then shimmy my foot over towards the side. I'll kind of lean forward as I lay that shin down towards the floor, but now notice I'm propped up on this block and it's easier for me to bring my shin into parallel. Now I want to try to square my hips towards the floor and press the top of that back foot into the floor. Gently pressing into the outer edge of this foot, maybe you find a little bit of a fold forward. We're staying here several rounds of breath, so I just want you to breathe into the stretch here. Maybe you can fold a little bit deeper. Maybe you can kind of thread your left arm underneath your right. And then last option is taking your left elbow inside the arch of your left foot and twisting open, sort of like that grasshopper position. You're kind of pressing your foot and your elbow back into each other. Becoming comfortable with this position if this is where you are. And once you're ready, right hand can kind of press into the floor to help lift you back up towards center, maybe kind of shimmying your hips side to side before gently making your way out of this side, whatever version you had. Take a moment in between sides, and then we'll take that same stretch on the left before moving into grasshopper pose. So again, 90-90 if you want that. You'll just take that here, fold forward, but press the outer edge of your foot into the floor. People that want pigeon, we'll take that block underneath our thighs. We step the foot forward towards a lunge and then shimmy the right foot all the way over towards the left. Lean forward to lay that shin down. Your thigh should hit the block, the pillows, the blanket, whatever is underneath your thigh here. And then taking your hips to square down towards the floor. Think about your glutes working to help you lift up first. So see if you can find this lift. Press the outer edge of your right foot into the floor. And then maybe you find a little bit more of a fold. So the main thing here is that you're just working whatever pigeon version is working best in your body right now. So maybe you're like me and you've done a lot of strength training lately and your hips are feeling pretty tight, or maybe not. Maybe you twist open towards the left side. Maybe the elbow comes into the arch of that foot as you twist open towards the left. Breathing wherever you are. And once you're ready, gently making your way off of the side, finding a second maybe. But again, if you need to stay longer, you can pause and just stay longer, or rewind when you're ready to get into the arm balance. So, moving on. Taking the block away for now, and I'll take a moment just to explain the pose. So grasshopper pose is a very twisty, bendy sort of shape, and it involves that twist where we're in the figure 4 position and we're twisting open. Okay, this takes a lot of strength and flexibility in our bodies, and so you may not be there yet. If you're not, you can just fast forward through this towards the cool down part of the video and pick it up there. But if you are wanting to try grasshopper pose, then I want you to grab a couple of blocks if you have them, maybe some pillows as like a landing crash pad, and get your space set up for an arm balance. Okay guys, so I have a couple of yoga blocks with me. Maybe you have some books or something that you could sit up on, but I'm gonna start by showing you from a seated position how to get into this pose. And you'll start by sitting up on either one block, like so, or you can sit up on 2 blocks. For the sake of this, I'll just show you on the 2 blocks. So we'll take the left ankle over the right thigh, and then we're twisting towards the right side. So think about sitting up tall first, extend through the spine always before you twist, and then you'll twist open. But look at your foot. I want you to take it more onto your thigh than like your ankle onto your thigh. So the outer edge of your foot more onto your thigh. And then taking the left elbow, left upper arm inside of the arch of your foot, press them into each other as you kind of twist open towards the side. Now from here, think chaturanga in the arms, right? Bent elbows kind of into the rib cage. And then you're gently tipping forward as you bend the elbows. Think about stepping onto the back of your left arm, and then maybe you can lift your right foot, pressing the heel towards the front of the mat. Okay? So, like I said, there's a lot going on there. I'll show you again from different angles. But starting there, just kind of play with that if you understood that. If that was like total nonsense to you and you've never seen that, then maybe going to an in-person class and trying it there first before playing with some of these more advanced things on your own. So if you've played with both sides, then I'll show you a different way to get into the pose and show you the pose from a different angle. So you can stand up and take your blocks towards the side. And I'm gonna take them towards my right side. So thinking about the blocks being about shoulder distance apart next to you, so that you're gonna take your hands towards the blocks once you go down for your grasshopper pose, okay? So what I want you to do is bring your left foot up and take the outer edge of that foot towards the top of your thigh. Then from there, sitting back towards a little chair. From there, you'll take the upper arm or elbow inside of the arch of the right foot as you start to twist. And then as you bend your right knee coming down towards a little squat, you'll start to find the blocks, finding a twist as your back hip comes onto your back elbow. Maybe you step onto the left arm. Maybe your right foot lifts and press that heel towards the front of the room. Okay, so there's just a lot going on there. Feel free to play with that on both sides. And if you have any questions about this, type them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, or send you some tips if you need them. Once you're done playing with these poses, we'll eventually make our way towards the seat, so feel free to pause, play around, and then we'll meet back to cool down. Once you find your seat, notice I'm seated up on a pillow. I'm bringing my legs out wide, but keeping a little bit of a bend into my knees. From there, sitting up nice and tall, starting to reach my chest forward inside of my legs. I like that bent knee position here because it just helps the low back relax a little bit more, and eventually just letting your heels slowly slide forward as they want to, but not like pressing. Deep breaths here, sending love into our bodies, gratitude into our bodies. And we'll gently walk the hands back up. Go ahead and make your way back onto your back again. Starting to find our way towards our final relaxation, but first, taking a moment to find that same position we did with the right thigh over the left thigh. But this time I want you to take your arms next to your ears, and we're going to start to take little crunches here. So bringing our elbows towards our knees as we crunch in, And then opening back out as the toes tap down. Let's take a few more. Breathing as we go on the exhale helps you crunch. Good. From here, relaxing the legs down. Go ahead and twist your legs over towards the left side, keeping that cross of the legs if it feels okay in your body. Gently bringing the knees back to center. Take a moment, unwind the legs. Press the backs of the arms into the floor, the shoulders, blades kind of moving towards each other. And then from there, lifting the hips up towards the sky into a bridge position. Maybe popping into a wheel pose if that speaks to you. One more inhale. And gently lower down on the exhale. Crossing the left leg over the right thigh. Fingertips behind the head. Crunching in on each exhale. Taking about 4 more. Beautiful, relaxing back once you're finished. Arms can go wide, twisting the legs over towards the right side this time. Finding some opening here through our back. Gently lifting back to center. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together to touch into a butterfly. Allowing the hips to open wide as we take our final rest here. Finding a slow, deep breath as we relax through our feet and our legs. Allow the hips to sink down into the floor as the spine lengthens. Allow the shoulders to sink back and the arms feel heavy. Allow your neck muscles to release, maybe kind of shifting your head side to side to do that. Relaxing the jaw, pressing the tongue to the back of the teeth. And gently relaxing the eyebrows. Maybe massaging your third eye in the center of your forehead. Allowing your whole body to be heavy here as we focus in on our breath. Allowing the breath to be long and slow. I'll invite you to stay here as long as you'd like to. Once you're ready, you can gently bring your knees back together. Making sure you come out slowly. I'll see you for the next one. Namaste.